Hey, good morning to you. It's hump day. Hopefully you got some humping done before you left the house. So let's pray and hope. Hey, this is Eyes on Smash Bros Radio, the only award-winning digital radio station located in Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, you can find us on TikTok, you can find us on Instagram, as well as Facebook and YouTube. So if you have not done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. We would appreciate you deeply. And also download our app. And then that way you can take us wherever you want to take us, and we will gladly go with you. Hey, I'm Oz. You can find me practically everywhere. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. So please, if you have not done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you. Wednesday is here. May is about to be gone. Man, what's going on? What's going on? We got two events coming up. One's coming up June 21st through the 23rd. Annual Male Mentoring Empowerment Camping Trip. The Man Project empowers young males with outdoor skills and team building. The Man Project Influence Today for a Better Tomorrow, an all-male mentoring program, is thrilled to announce its annual mentoring camping trip. This exciting event aims to empower young males with outdoor survival skills and foster camaraderie through team building activities in a weekend camping adventure at Oak Mountain State Park. Scheduled for June 21st to June 23rd, this camping trip offers a unique opportunity for males ages from 7 to 18 to bond, learn, and grow in a picturesque outdoor setting. Participants will engage in a variety of activities, including tug of war, capture the flag, hiking, archery, canoeing, and more. With a focus on mentorship, empowerment, and personal growth, this experience promises to be transformative for all involved. This camping trip is not just about survival skills, it's about instilling confidence, enhancing self-esteem, and creating lasting memories, said Richard Cade, who is the program director for the Man Project. We want to provide young males with an environment where they can disconnect from technology, connect with nature, and connect with each other. The cost of participation is $5, which includes a camping and lodging fees. The event will depart from Crescent Cultural Community Center at 5 p.m. on June 21st and return to the same location at 12 noon on June 23rd. In addition to participant registration, the Man Project is also seeking sponsorship support to ensure the success of this impactful event. To be an adventure sponsor is $250. You have your logo placement on event website, prominent logo placement on an event, mentions in event-related activities. So you have from 250 to 125 to 75. So for more information about you can contact Richard Cade at tmanproject@outlook.com. tmanproject@outlook.com. So also, this is a fantastic mentoring group. I think this is the fourth or fifth year that Cade has done this. So please, 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 please search in your heart. Also, if you like to be a sponsor, if you want to be a donor, if you want to volunteer, please get in touch with Elder Cade and see exactly what you can do. The other one is the Bully Showdown Part 2. Smash Bros Radio and OZZz are proud sponsors of the Southern Bully Showdown Annual 2, November 9th, 2024. It is being presented by 1888 Bully Kennel. Also, if you have any information, if you want any information, contact DeJuan Hall at 205-460-6435. DeJuan Hall, 205-460-6435. This is a way. Listen, if you have never been to a dog show, this is a fantastic way of learning about the canine, especially learning about the bully breed. And the bully breed gets a bad reputation because everybody should know that it's not the canines, it's not the breed itself, it's the owners. The owners are responsible for the reputation of their breed. And the bullies have a bad reputation. I think back there in the dark ages, I'm 64. I see what is the shepherds, the Doberman Pinschers, the Chows were the dangerous dogs back then. So now all of a sudden, and maybe rightfully so, um, well, unjustly so, I guess you could say, you have these shady individuals who have these beautiful dogs, and then they train these dogs to fight. And that's not the bully breed. That's not a good representative or a good example of what the bully breed's all about. And I found out, what is it? The Koso is a breed, a bully breed. The French Bulldog is a bully breed. So there are other breeds out there that belong to the bully. So please come out. Please come out. That's November 9th, 2024, the Southern Bully Showdown Annual 2. Get in touch with DeWine. Also, this is a way too for you to connect to, if you're a breeder, if you have a kennel, this is a way of you connecting and getting together. Talking to DeWine over the years, it's a science. It's a science in knowing exactly what to do. And it's not easy. It's extremely hard. So this is a way for everybody to come out. So please come out. If you wish to be a sponsor, you wish to be a donor, a benefactor, if you are a food truck, if you are a vendor, give DeWine a call. There's still spaces available for you, and he's looking forward to talking to you. So please, please, please get in touch with him. Also, if you're having key problems, whether it's a door, whether it's a any type of key problem, get in touch with my oh, I done lost them. Get in touch with them. Another day in the office, emergency keys. Dominique Waters is a locksmith. 205-997-0071. 205-997-0071. So if you're having any problems with keys, give Dominique a call. You can also reach him at emergencykeysal.com. Emergencykeysal.com. So emergency keys, Dominique Waters. So get in touch with him. Also, this time I won't forget. This time I won't forget. This time I won't forget. How many times have you gone to a restaurant and you've always had to either send the utensils back or you had to wipe them down? Well, I have a surprise for you. You don't have to do that anymore, because this right here, you see it, 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 forked again. This is your own utensils, your own personalized utensils. Comes in this container when it's shipped to you. You open it up. Then you have this. And then when you get this, when you open it up, you have your own utensils. You have your fork, your knife, your spoon. It also comes with straws. And then on top of that, the most fancy thing about it is you can have your what is it? Laser. Put your name on it. So please, this is a good gift. This is a fantastic gift. You can give this gift for Mother's Day, Father's Day. What is it? Bridal showers. You can give it to birthdays. You can give it to divorce, divorce parties, any event, baby showers, any event. And then for you to be able to laser engrave it, to have it laser engraved, is fantastic. Now I got a special treat for you. If you put down the code OZZz, 3 Z's, OZZZ 15, you get a 15% discount. So that's OZZz with 3 Z's, 15, and you get 15% discount. So it's nice to have when you go out. So then that way you don't have to worry about if you're going to contact anything. Because, I mean, let's be serious. You never know You never know. And you would hope that nothing happens, but you never know. So this is a way of, having your own utensils with you. And plus, two, it's a way of showing out. I mean, please, everybody needs to show out now and then. So this is your way of showing out. So please, forked again, 15% discount with the code OZZz15. And let them know that I sent you. I appreciate you. So now, there is a video going around of a mother very upset that her child did not receive any type of award or recognition. And with me being a teacher and with me starting in middle school, and during that time, it wasn't middle school, it was K through 8. Lincoln, it was K through 8. And so we made it a point, the 8th grade team made it a point that the students were recognized. Now, when it comes to kindergarten, or when it comes to K through 1 or K through, personally as a teacher, I think that every student should be acknowledged, should be recognized. Now, this mother was upset because her son did not receive an award. And the way that she was depicted really flashed through my head that really this is an example of what we're going through now. Because the way that it was reported by some, this irate mother, this upset mother. And then I started thinking, we have got to start paying more attention to the narrative. We have got to start being more conscientious in how something is being reported. And especially now, especially with this system that we are under now. This is no time for us to be over emotional, and I'm the last one that should say this because everybody knows that I'm an emotional individual. So, but it brings to point two that from my standpoint as a teacher, every child should have some type of certificate. Certificates don't cost anything. You can make certificates. You can go to where is it? You can go to these places and you can create your own certificates. You can even go to Amazon and look up certificates, and you have a variety of certificates that you can be. Best achievement, congratulations. So I could understand the anger that the mother went through because all these other children were receiving awards, receiving recognition, and yet her child did not get a certificate. And somebody was saying that, well, she got a report card. Okay, they got a report card. A report card is not equivalent to a certificate. Now, I understand that there's a lot going on because of perception. That's one, and that's another thing that blows our mind. Our perception, how we perceive something, is usually what gets us in trouble. From my standpoint, as a teacher, coming as a retired teacher, I would have made sure that everyone received a certificate, a congratulations certificate, because they don't cost any money. Then you have this what is it? This habit now of when you get participation awards. So there's a fine line depending on the age group. You want to make sure that that the next generation is well balanced in understanding that everything that you do, you're not going to get recognized for. If you're doing something that you're supposed to be doing, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get recognized for it because that's what you're supposed to be doing anyway. When it comes to younger children, who are just learning. I don't see the concern or the issue in giving out certificates to make it knowledge. And see, then when you bring it full circle around, it is extremely important, especially in the elementary years, or from, let's say, K through 8, that you are as visible as possible when it comes to your child. Now they're going, the younger ones, they love seeing their parents there. And I've seen many videos, and I'm sure you've seen many videos of kids looking very shy and somewhat hurt, but when they see someone they recognize, some relative, someone that they know, you see them lighten up, you see them get enthused. Same way with middle school. They're not as readily wanting, but they need that too. But also when you extend it to high school. Now, and all of us have been teenagers. All of us have been teenagers. We want to be recognized. They want to see someone there watching them. So now especially, we have to be more conscientious, more aware of exactly what the narrative is all about. Who is reporting their narrative? What are the flag words or the emotional words that are used to describe? Especially now. I think that we've gotten to the point to where we don't listen. We just hear. And we're not paying attention to the words that are being utilized. We're not understanding the verbiage. And that's what's going to get us in trouble, because people are telling you exactly what they're going to do, but we're not listening to them. The orange tangerine idiot Trump has told us, has been blatantly truthful, radically truthful, and has told us exactly what he's going to do. And we're just looking at him like, okay, but do we actually understand what he is saying? See, that is the most disheartening thing that for this election coming up, is that you have two old mutants, and that's what I call white folks, mutants. You have two, or WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant men. You have two decrepit mutants running for the presidency. So who do you vote for? Who do you vote for? Do you vote for this individual who has been blatantly truthful, radically truthful, and has told you that he is going to do away with Social Security? He's going to do away with, put it under one umbrella, social services. So he's going to do away with Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, welfare. He's going to do away with most of the cabinet, which means that you're not going to have a Department of Education. And the reason that that is most frightening and pivotal is that when you have a citizenry that is not well educated, well, then you can say and do whatever you want to, because those citizens do not really understand exactly what's happening. They can't think for themselves. So see, there are certain groups that do not wish us to think for ourselves, because when we start thinking for ourselves, then we can understand that you're lying to us or you're trying to bamboozle us. And let's be perfectly honest, we know that both parties are corrupt. Both parties, they're twins. Both parties are corrupt. So you have one who has been blatantly truthful, that's going to change the entire democracy that we have and make it into a dictatorship. And it's being done under our noses because we're not paying attention to the narrative. And then you have one who, for whatever reason, is not standing up to the atrocities that's happening over in Gaza. But see, we have allowed our emotions to become involved. So, do we vote for this old white man that's trying to take us back to the 50s? And if he gets elected, they are going to do that. I didn't think that Trump could get elected. To my surprise, he did. Or are you going to vote for this individual who has some type of more sense and is not going to do away with the democracy? So, in the bigger picture, who is less of the evils? Both are decrepit. Both should not even be president. But who else are you going to vote for? Dr. Obama said that she's not going to run. Because I would wager that if Dr. Michelle Obama were to run, she would get elected. Hands down. But she says that she's not running. So who do we have left? So in the bigger picture, you vote your conscience. Now, there's some people in certain communities saying, well, I've made a lot more money under Trump. Okay. What's your point? What's your point? Because when it comes down to it, he has nothing in common with us. And his actions have proven that you can't trust him. He has thrown every supporter of him underneath the bus. Because it's me, 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 me. So you have this other decrepit individual who looks paisley, and you can tell with white, you can tell with the mutants. I mean, you can mutants. You can tell if they're sick or if they're nasty because they have a pasty, pasty look to them. So, who's a better? And then we have to pay attention to the narrative, especially what is happening in Congress, because you have those individuals that are being supported by the Israeli government who has infiltrated our government, dictating exactly what our representatives are supposed to do. So you have this huge, big mess. You have a mother that is upset because, and rightfully so, for my opinion, rightfully so, that her child was not acknowledged. Now, the way that she did it is questionable. I don't think that she should have acted the way that she did. I think that she should have waited, but that's my perspective. But I'm an emotional person too, so I don't know what I would have done if my child was not recognized. None of us would have known. We can say whatever we want to, but if we are put in the same situation, would we have reacted? And we've been to sports, and we've seen these parents act ridiculous, hollering at the coaches, even assaulting the other players. It's time for us to pay attention to the narrative. It's time for us to understand exactly what is being said and what is not being said. And it's easy to find out because if you have a smartphone, all you have to do is ask. All you have to do is ask. Whereas in the dark ages, you had to run down to the library and look through the card catalog. It's right in your fingertips. I mean, how many you're connected to this? How many times have you gone to lunch with someone and y'all didn't even talk? You didn't even have a conversation because everybody's nose was in the phone. I mean, when you eat as a family, how many times have you seen your children talking on the phone or looking through the phone, not paying attention? Because we're not paying attention to the narrative. We're taking everything for granted. And we cannot, at this junction of time, take anything for granted. Now, I'm 64 years old. I'm on the downside. I give myself 40 more years. If you are in your late 40s, all the way to your 30s, and you have children, it's time to pay attention to what our children are going to have to deal with. COVID whipped our behinds. And see, that's another reason why we didn't pay attention to the narrative. If COVID had been handled correctly and properly, we wouldn't be going through this radical change as quickly as we are. But you have to keep in mind that the United States is still a young nation when compared to Europe. See, Europe has already gone through this growth, this change. Now, eventually we were going to go through this change, but we were thrusted into it because of what COVID brought about. Because if COVID had been handled correctly and properly, you could have closed everything down. Congress could have allotted the families money and given interest-free loans to these businesses to still operate. But because of it not being handled correctly, and that is a prime example of why, another reason why we don't want Trump involved or anyone associated with Trump. I don't trust anybody who supports Trump. I don't. I don't trust anybody who supports Trump. I don't trust any Republican. Because even the moderates, if you back somebody without saying anything, you're going along with it. You're an accomplice. You know what the narrative is. You know what your party is doing. Here in Alabama, you're seeing it. They're banning books. You can't even talk about Black history anymore. And why are the white folks, why are the mutants so scared? The mutants are scared because their truth is going to be revealed. Look at the Karens. When you see all these Karens still operating, when you see I would rather someone be openly racist with me, because I know exactly where they're coming from, instead of those closet racists. How many of you actually have white friends? Now, I'm not saying associates, I'm saying white friends. Have you and your friends sat down? Have you and your friends even talked about what is going on? Do you know their political views? Do they support Trump? Because if they support Trump, you need to be cautious of them. And I don't care if you were raised with them. I don't care if you spent the night with them. I don't care if you were in the bridal, if you were a groomsman, if you were a bridesmaid. Don't care. Have you talked? Have y'all sat down during the gatherings? Or have you ever talked openly about what is going on, about the narrative? And if you haven't, woo, I would be very cautious, extremely cautious, because we're in that era. We're in that time to where change is coming rapidly. In this election coming up, if we have not paid attention to the narrative, we can go backwards all the way to the 50s. But see, I think one thing that people don't seem to understand, what transpired in the 60s and 50s won't be so readily acceptable. So, are we going to progress and become better? Because we know that things have to be modified. We know that welfare needs to be modified, revamped. We know that social services need to be revamped because these services are antiquated. They're out of tune. I don't think it's fair, my perspective, I don't think it's fair for someone to be on Section 8 and whatever is not spent, they can keep. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair that for me to have these, and I'm not any better than anybody else having these degrees because I work my ass off for these degrees, but I don't think it's fair, my perspective, I don't think it's fair for me to have these degrees and be a professional, to have a job, and then I see individuals with 4 or 5 carts that's loaded down with meats. Because see, you have to keep in mind the narrative back then was that they were going to give people a breathing time. And we know that the majority of people that are receiving welfare are whites. Let's be realistic. We know this. Long in the earliest days when all these social services were being developed, they were to serve as a stepping stone, as a breathing period, because everybody gets into problems. So we need assistance. But then once you come to the point to where you offer the assistance, then you offer welfare. But for you to have this vicious cycle to where the grandmother was on it, the mother's on it, and now the kids on it, it needs to be revamped. The narrative. I think that there should be universal health care. I think there should be universal tutoring or tuitions, because you have enough of money. You have that 1% that's not paying their fair share. You got to pay attention to the narrative. You got to pay attention to the narrative. Pay attention to what's transpiring, is what happening in Birmingham. Because just because somebody's relatives were in politics and they were fantastic, they had stellar career, they were diligent, they had the receipts, they were working in the community, doesn't mean that their offspring, doesn't mean that the younger generation is going to have the same vigor and reputation as they. You have to pay attention to the narrative. You have to. It's now. It has to be now. What are you leaving for the next generation? What are you leaving for your kids? We're still going through the effects of COVID. And if people argue with me, but I keep telling people you have 15 to 20 years of dealing with COVID, the side effects of COVID. And I'm 64, so 84 years old. So if you have a 15-year-old, your 15-year-old is going to be 35. You have a 10-year-old, the 10-year-old is going to be 30. If you're in your 40s, you're going to be 60. Because we're still being affected. Still go to the grocery stores, because see, when the merchandise from produce and the markets needs to be changed with the way they're shipped. Parents, I huge shout out to you, because I cannot even imagine what you're going through. But again, we have to pay attention to the narrative. So I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all coming in. Appreciate y'all taking time with me. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you control everything about you. And most importantly, know that I love you more than I love my luggage. I'll see you Thursday. Take care.